Now let's begin the conversation. In Nigeria's oil sector, the Dangote Refinery has now become the center of a growing controversy over the control and distribution of petrol. At the heart of this unfolding dispute is the allegation of monopolistic practices, with concerns being raised by major stakeholders in the downstream oil and gas sector. Oil workers are also at loggerheads with Dangote Refinery over alleged anti-labor practices. On this, the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NARTO, has aligned itself with the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, and the Depot and Petroleum Products Marketers Association of Nigeria, DAPPMAN, over claims that Dangote Group's dominance is undermining the principles of open and equitable market engagement by embarking on petrol distribution with its CNG trucks. Okay, Biko, here we go again. You know, yesterday we had a conversation with Dan Conley, energy expert. Now, the back and forth. Now, NATO is now back in NUPENG. Your thoughts on this? Yes.
As I said, it's a very complicated affair.
Very.
Not many people saw what Dangote did coming. To buy so many trucks and undertake to directly supply filling stations. That business strategy effectively puts the jobs of NATO members at big risk. It puts the future of the fuel importers at risk. It puts the future of depot owners at risk. Yes, some of the importers are also depot owners.
Yes.
Some of the retailers are also depot owners. You know? Yes. Well, for example, what's this woman's name? Maybe I remember one of the major
importers,
oil companies in our country. She functions both as a retailer and also a depot owner as well. So you can understand why they believe that this should not be allowed to happen, that one person should not be in charge of refining, should not be in charge of depot services, should not be in charge of retailing. So that is the bone of contention. And for these NUPENG members, NATO members, they see their jobs being imperiled by the decision that Dangote has taken.
But with this decision by Dangote, is Dangote going against the PIA with this matter?
Oh, I do not think so. I do not think so. I have not read anything.
So it's not?
Yes, but it's important that we put this out there for stakeholders to ask. Dankule talked about the fact that the importers were operating on a rentier business model that was not meant to last for too long. He's saying, well, they should be thinking about something transitional, you know, which means he's saying that their days are numbered. They have to think of an escape route. And to him, it may be necessary to sit down with Dangote and see how they can function in the transitional sector. See the way he's thinking that, we've gone past that stage now.
This
they
is
need to sit down
era.
so that they can be part of that new era that is unfolding before our eyes. And that was why I said that he showed no mercy about the future of some of these players in the sector. But it's good that we have
someone from NATO.
Yes, the president of NATO. NATO has been very, very useful, very, very effective in the distribution, in product distribution.
In product distribution, basically.
So,
now, joining us for more discussion on this issue is the president of the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NARTO, Yusuf Lawal-Othman. Yusuf Lawal-Othman, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right, let's begin the conversation this way. I mean, the Dangote Refinery was expected to reduce Nigeria's dependence on imported refined petroleum products and also stabilize domestic supply. Now, talk to us. How far do you think the company has delivered on this?
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. Dangote Refinery is welcome development to Nigeria, Africa, and the world. But having the refinery is one thing, and the Nigerian market is another thing.
that is not
Dangote Refinery belongs to Dangote and his family. Although it brings succor to Nigeria and Nigerians in terms of the supply of petroleum products. I want you to look at the PIA Act. In the Nigerian downstream sector today, we have upstream, midstream, downstream. Upstream as crude oil. Once crude oil comes out, it comes to downstream. Downstream is the issue of refining. Dangote Refinery is in the downstream sector. Midstream sector. It's not in the downstream. The distribution of petroleum product marketing and retailing is in the downstream. The PI Act is very clear. You cannot cross carpet from midstream to downstream without licensing, without necessary approval. And if you want to do that, it has to be arm's length. As at today, the act of Dangote Refinery is an illegal act if you go through section 212 of the PIA Act. So if operation of this magnitude and is happening against the laws of the country, that is unfortunate. Now, it's one thing to do a refinery, which is a very good development for all of us. We are all very happy. It's another thing to enter Nigerian market. Nigerian market already has its players, whether so. Inconsequential. We're talking of today, tomorrow, and next tomorrow, and we are governed by the laws of the land. Now we have the largest refinery in Africa or even in the world, saying that I want to distribute petroleum products into the downstream, and is not licensed to do that for now. And if he wants to do that, he does not want anybody to get involved. Those that are here before now, he will not patronize them. He will or will not allow them to be patronized based on his conditions. He would like to do it himself. He has his own trucks. It has to do his own depots. And so all other players who have invested the same way he's invested, who have loans the same way he has loans, will be eliminated. So this is the crux of the matter. Here we are in Nigeria, we have depots in Calabar that serve the environs of Calabar and Northeast. We have depots in Port Harcourt that serve the environs of Port Harcourt and South and Southeast. Here we have in Koko and in Warri that serve North Central and Abuja. And here we have in Lagos that serve Northwest and so many other areas. All of these depots, as far as the Dangote Refinery is concerned, will close down. Every other person must load from his depots, and you must use his trucks.
Okay, Yusuf Othman. Yusuf Othman, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We need to go on this quick break, okay? Just hold that thought, okay? We need to go on this quick break, and when we return, the conversation will continue. All right, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. We still have the president of the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NARTO, Yusuf Lawal-Othman. Yusuf Lawal-Othman, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right, BK has a question for you.
Okay, you were talking about the PIA and the stipulations therein, but I've heard people around Elijah Aliko Dangote say that Dangote Refinery is not involved in retailing, that it is MRS that is involved in retailing. How do you weigh in on this?
We saw it very clearly in the advert, in the flyer. Dangote is doing direct this objection, because what they are doing is act of illegality. They move to MRS. Even the MRS, what we are saying, according to the act, it has to be arm length. Arm length. MRS is managed and owned by his brother. And in recent meetings where you go, even with the agreement signed recently by NUPENG and others, it was signed by the chairman of MRS on behalf of Dangote Group. So that is not arm length. So what we are saying is look at it. Look at the grid here. This is a company owned, private company. People should look at it this way. Private company trying to clear all private companies in Nigeria. My own level is to buy truck. That's my own level of investment in Nigeria. Alhaji's level of investment is to do refinery. Do I give way for, give my investment for another investor, irrespective of his size? What we are talking, I have told you, they want to clear Calabar, Warri, Port Harcourt. They want to clear Lagos, every other player except himself and his family. Look at the level of employment in Nigeria that benefit from all this ownership spread across the country. Just one family will clear everybody in this country. We are talking about the investment of Nigerians here and foreign and non-Nigerians. We are talking of future, present and future investment. We are talking of energy security in Nigeria. We are talking about energy security. If, for example, everything is handed over or captured by a single family, how many people are we in Nigeria? What is the level of investment? It's one thing to invest in refinery. It's another thing to distribute in the downstream. We have flyers that we have seen that Dangote is doing direct supply. It is available. So it's not MRS. Thank you.
Okay, so now
Moreover, let me explain further. We have contracts with so many companies, and those companies have been approached that just think the contracts they have with us. Rather, they will collect direct supply from Dangote Refinery to them, meaning that all of us are eliminated. The same way they have facility, the same way you have facility. The same way they've invested, the same way you have invested. And look at it this way. We are talking of the all Nigerians. There is no local government in Nigeria where there is no truck owner. All of us are cleared. You live in Lagos, my brother Babajide. When the Lagos state government brought BRT, what happened? They created a line for them, and they sent the Dampo buses other areas where they will live and let live. Here is no issue of live and let live. Because I'm a big brother, because I have this, every other person in the downstream must leave. I am the only person that will do everything in the downstream. And the downstream is, you are in the midstream. You are not in the downstream. How will you come down and say you clear all other people who are in the downstream? Energy security of this country is at risk. Is at risk. You are international, all of you guys are international persons. Last year, the president of the United States was whining and dining with Elon Musk. Today, there are no whining and dining. what is the guarantee if this family are close to this government that today, tomorrow they are not close to the government and they capture everything? They can decide where oil, where petroleum will go and where it will not go and it stands, because they would have captured the whole gamut of the downstream. And also the issue is not that, is in the eyes of the law that you say 212. 212 is very, very, very clear. Yes. You cannot cross carpet. It has to be armless. It's not armless.
What can NATO
is
do
monopoly
now?
and competition.
What can NATO do now? Because there was a court order telling NUPENG and truck owners not to do anything to stop the Dangote Refinery from operating. The order also says that they must not block the roads, meaning that they cannot protest the way people would like to protest when they see some infractions taking place in the oil sector. What do you intend to do now, especially when you cite the fact that the law does not permit him to do what he has done?
Yes, the law does not permit him. We have been to relevant government agencies. This is a business that has control. This is a country that is led by a person who has balls, who will call the shots, irrespective of whose ox is God. We have been to the relevant government authorities. We have told them this is an act of illegality, and we believe necessary action will be taken. At the same time, let me inform you what we can do. We do not block road. We do not tell anybody to block road. But as at today in Nigeria, fuel is distributed 100% by NATO members. Therefore, if for any reason Al-Haji decides to do act of illegality just by virtue of his strength and by virtue of the fact that he has built a refinery, which is good for us and for everybody, what we will do, all other members will park their trucks because we can't do it free. Since he can do it free by virtue of his corner of scale, by virtue of monopoly he wants to establish, and the anti-competition activities, we will tell all others to park because we can't do free. Any other person who feels he can do free business, he can go ahead. And let us see whether this act of illegality can serve the country. But I believe we have...
Othman, given the number of trucks that he has procured, do you think that even if you people refuse to roll out your trucks and you leave him alone, do you think it will hurt Dangote?
No, Dangote doesn't want, we do not want to hurt Dangote, God forbid. Dangote, we just want him to reason. One, what he's doing is act of illegality. Two, he wants to kill all other investors in the industry. I don't know whether he cares, but I know government cares. Government cares about small and medium enterprises. Government cares about local investors. Government cares about energy security. At the same time, you know, every act in this country is being governed. This sector is not a cement sector. It's a petroleum sector that is governed by certain rules and regulations. And every player, big or small, must follow these regulations. Except if somebody wants to do act of illegality, then he will face the full wrath of the law.
No, it's you keep saying that Dangote has done something illegal. Don't you think that at this time that there is a need for you people to come together and see how you can resolve this matter amicably?
Yeah, I feel there is need for all of that, but let me tell you, what they want, the family want to do, it has to be their way and only way. Everybody should collapse. They should be the people to distribute fuel in the country. They should be the only persons to sell fuel, even though they are not officially allowed to do that. If Al-Haji wants to us to live and let live and do the right thing according to the law, it's welcome. We are planning to see if we could have some greater. We want to survive. We want to survive. We are service providers. The depot people want to survive. They are service providers. The filling station want to survive. They are service providers. But how rational is it that every depot in the country will close? You can't sell fuel to all the depots. Everybody must come and buy from you and only you. One family versus other families in the country. One investment versus other investment in the country. Above all, you are not licensed officially to do what you intend to do. For you to even take a template and write, you want to do direct supply without license is undermining the law of the land, undermining the authorities that give this. In fact, there was a time the NMDPRA was taken to court. This NMDPRA is supposed to be, and it is the referee in this sector, was taken to court by Dangote Refinery. So you imagine the kind of impunity we are living. You imagine the kind of impunity we are living in this country. Even the referee is taken to court. But then I want to appreciate the NMDPRA. They haven't kept in. They are not afraid. They are doing the right thing. And I believe the right thing will be done in this country. And it is high time, no matter how big an enterprise, you call a spade a spade. If those at the top do not respect the law, I wonder how you would expect those at the bottom to respect the law. The law is very, 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 very clear in this direction. You have written you want to do direct supply from Dangote Refinery, direct, not MRS. Dangote Refinery, direct supply. And Dangote is in midstream. The supply and distribution is in downstream.
All right, then. So we need to go on this quick break. And when we return, I'm going to be asking you about the DSS brokered agreement that was had, a few days ago and what happened afterwards. We'll be back with that conversation right after this break. Don't go away. Still Journalist Hangout. All right, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. We're still looking at this, the back and forth between Dangote Refineries and the unions and the association. We still have Yusuf Lawal-Othman joining us right now via Zoom. So, going back to the conversation. Now, the DSS brokered an agreement between Dangote and NUPENG, but it's alleged that Dangote reneged on this agreement. Why do you think everything fell apart?
Well, I am not privy to all that. All I saw is the written agreement signed by all the parties. But I want to believe that, there is need for all of us to respect this country and to respect the officials of the country, irrespective of the size of your pocket. Irrespective of one side of the pocket, you should respect the country and respect the laws of the country. In a situation where you feel you are probably lost a president or whatever, and you do not respect this.
Okay. Okay, I think we're having network issues. Okay, so while we wait for, that to be sorted out, but he has said that Dangote is contravening the PIA. And I love that question you asked, that he's not a retailer in this regard. But so far, in everything he's said, what are your takeaways?
Well, so as I've said, this is a battle for survival. When he comes back, we need to ask him how this whole thing began.
From the beginning?
Yes. My hunch is that Dangote wants to deal decisively with importers of petrol. And in the process, is going to hurt depot owners, is going to hurt even truckers. You know, because if he continues to deliver, already DAPPMAN, they've opened their arms to receive.
Okay, BK, I've just been told that Yusuf Othman is back. All right, so are you with us?
Yeah, very well.
Okay, I need you to quickly land on that question. Talk about the DSS brokered agreement.
Yes.
Okay, DSS brokered agreement, and somehow, somewhere, one of the parties reneged. I don't want to get involved in that, but I want to believe that it's high time, irrespective of one size of pocket, when you sit with government and government officials, you do rest. You know that thing they wine and dine with government or government officials should respect disciples of president. Because if you don't respect disciples of president or disciples of government, then you are not respecting government. That is why people do act of impunity. It still baffles me how the fact that you build a refinery, which is a good development for everyone. But don't forget, dry refinery belongs to a family, and all other family investments should collapse and give you way to do every gamut in Nigeria. One person, one family, clear all other families.
Yes,
I have never seen this thing in Nigeria. In Nigeria, how would you expect every depot?
Let's explore. Othman, because you've said these things earlier. So there are other things that we want to talk to you about.
Okay.
How did this whole fight begin? From where I sit, I felt that it all began with his disagreement with fuel importers. He felt that since he has a refinery with a capacity of 650,000 barrels a day, more than our daily consumption level, he felt that importation should be discouraged, and those who are into importing should come and buy from him. He also felt that by not buying from him and buying cheaper petroleum products, from WTI, from Russian crude and other, he felt that that way they will be undercutting his business, and his business could end up dying. I felt that the conflict was between him and those marketers. And in his attempt to punish those marketers, truckers are now also in danger, and retailers are also in danger. So I want you to explain in your view how this whole thing began, this whole conflict.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You see, it's good for Nigerians to know we are players, we are operators. I am an operator, and I will later on tell you about CNG truck. I have CNG trucks. See, the 650,000 they are talking of, it's one thing to have the capacity. It's another thing to operate at the level of information available from NMDPRA suggests that the average daily
production. Oh God.
We're having network challenges here. I mean, okay, while we wait for the engineers to sort that out, I like that question. We need to know from where it started, where the conflict started.
Yes.
You know, but he's talking about
he was going to tell us the present production level of the Dangote Refinery. It has an installed capacity of 650,000. Okay. It has an installed capacity of 650,000 barrels a day, which is above our consumption level daily. Yes, as a country. But he's saying that the facts from the regulator, the NMDPRA, points to the contrary. But we didn't really hear what
okay, we've got to tell that he's back. Saying.
We need to go back. Yeah, you were going to say something about the present production level of the Dangote Refinery based on facts, according to you, from the NMDPRA. Can you continue? And are these facts verifiable?
Yes, NMDPRA, according to what NMDPRA said, not me, what I heard from them, the average daily consumption is 50 million.
Yes.
The average production for now is 20 million. So there is a gap.
Production by Dangote.
And these importers, they are not the people that...
Are you saying Dangote does not produce at installed capacity of his refinery? Is that what you are saying?
I cannot speak for his refinery, but what I'm saying is that the NMDPRA states very clearly, average daily production is 20 million and average daily consumption is 50 million. So there is a gap. And that gap has to be bridged. So that is why they are bridging it. Now, for a refiner to come and say he wants to punish somebody in the downstream because he didn't do his bidding, that refiner is not government. He's a player in the PIA just like other players. If I don't do your term, I don't have to be punished and punish other persons. Then that person becomes government. That is what we are trying to see. Monopoly and Anti-Competition Act. Only government can do that. We are all players in the downstream. And because we are all players, one, we have to play by the rules. Two, we have to be competitive. And given the antecedents of one of the players, generally people are concerned. But irrespective of that, we are talking about how many number of employees do you have in all the depots across the country with dependents across the country? How many number of employees do you have for truck owners and their dependents across in collapsing? People will not accept it. And I'm sure our government of Nigeria, especially of today, will not accept it.
All right, you keep talking about
what they consume. So the margin that people envisage, people consume. So the margin that people envisage, people say is available. Yes, it's clean energy, but the difference between diesel in terms of operational cost and the CNG is not as much as propagated, because recently the CNG have increased prices.
All right, just as a final question, I mean, the back and forth between the unions, the associations, NUPENG, DAPPMAN, with Dangote, what does this say about the business climate in Nigeria? Just as a final question from me.
People who are very greedy in this country, who want to live only for themselves, and you don't care what happens to other persons. People who have been in this business over time, and nobody cares about whatever any other persons, But what we expected is a situation where we all try and embrace each other and live happily for the benefit of the country, for the benefit of the common man. This is what we expect, and we will continue to push for a situation where we live and let live, where Alhaji will live and let live.
All right, thank you very much. We've been speaking with the president of the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NARTO, Yusuf Lawal-Othman. Yusuf Lawal-Othman, thank you very much for having this conversation with us.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, then.